What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. This is day 2 cut, whatever, Swiss round number 9 of Gdańsk, and we have a very interesting matchup. On the left, we have Lewis playing a Tera box deck. This is our third Tera box showing, which is so exciting for me. I love seeing Tera box. And on the right, we actually have Matthew, who is also playing a Tera boxed kind of deck, but it is the Flareon Noctowl deck. So we have two very interesting decks playing each other. These toolbox decks. I don't know what's going to happen here, how these matches play out. I have not played either one of these decks, and I definitely have never seen either one of these decks play against each other, right? So I don't know what's going to happen here. So let's look at the price cards, because this is going to be a big deal here. So Matthew, they both prized Matt. That's Crisp's name is Matt? What the heck? That's so cool to know. That's so cool. Yeah. And both players prized Matt. Okay. We see Briar prized here. We see the Tilmas prized. But the Fed Snippety might be the bigger deal here. Blood Moon is at the bottom, so that's fine. One Crisp in a piece. They both are playing. Oh no, Matthew only plays two, so this would be a big deal. So here we go, guys. Let's start this party. I have no idea what's going to come down, but here we start round number 9 of I want to say it's round 1 of day 2, but it's Swiss round 9, however you want to look at it. But we see the Huthu start. Does Lewis have the Fan Rotom? I don't see a Fan Rotom come down, and we see Psyduck come down. Interesting, Psyduck come down in this matchup. I don't think that is something. I wonder why Psyduck? Why Psyduck coming down? I wonder. I'm not sure. There's nothing on. There's nothing. This is a bad thing right here. Disrupt opponent's bench. Sylveon. This player is not playing Sylveon. Don't get that twisted. Yeah. Why Psyduck, I wonder? But there we see the Wellspring, we see the water. We're gonna see a Sob here. Jet energy. It's not a water, that's a jet energy. It looks like a jet energy because the blue right here. Come on, Josh. So we see a Sob. On a Lewis turn, what do we do here? This looks terrible. And we're just gonna scoop it up? We're just gonna Scoopy? We're just gonna, hey, I'm fine with that. When you know you lost, you lost. Like, I am 100% okay with this, because what Matthew could have done next turn is gone for Noctowl. They could have Crispin, set up the Wellspring, and just took like a knockout, right? And take 2 price cards, and from there, you know, it looks really bad, right? Yeah, there we go. I guess they dropped the Psyduck because you're scared that your opponent can have some kind of crazy turn 1 play to take a knockout. They both play in Sparkle and Crystal and Crispin, so that's why the Psyduck is dropped. Now it makes sense. My brain wasn't cooking, but now it is cooked. I know why. Yeah, I guess you just in case your opponent takes double knockout. That's why you drop the Psyduck. So not the way you want to start your first match off on stream, right? But here we go. On to game number 2. Let's see what happens. What do these players find? So we hopefully see the prize cards. Let's look at this real quick. So on this side, Matthew only plays 1 Pidgey, so that being prized is pretty bad. Crispin, Sereno being prized. They only play 1. So one of these, 2 of these. That's crazy. Only 1 Grass Energy, and everything on Lewis' side is fine. And here we go. Let's have a better game 2. And both players are actually having a way better start. Lewis starts Ditto, Matthew starts Fan Rotom, so we're actually going to be set, and Lewis has their own Fan Rotom. So Lewis is going to grab the Wellspring here. Most likely, I think we're going to see Wellspring, right? Ooh, they're playing Mawile as well. So many interesting cards nowadays in these decks. It's just so cool to see. I love these Tera box decks and see how cool they are and what they could all play. Like Mega Mawile, I'm like, okay, that's a card you don't play. But late game, it is a card you could play. You can do so much damage with Mega Mawile. It does 80 for each price card you have taken. So if you've taken 4, you're doing 240, right? Yeah, right? No, 8, 16, 24, 3. 320, right? Right? Yeah, 320. 8, 16, 24, 320. 400, 480. You can do 480 damage. 400. You can do 400 damage max. That's sick. I don't know why I had a moment there. I don't know why I couldn't do math in my head. I'm so sorry. But we see the Wellspring come out like I thought. Wellspring coming out is great because then you can start using the ability or the second attack and just knock out a bunch of Pokemon. Does Matthew play Shaman? They don't play Shaman. So that's going to be a big thing here. Is Lewis is going to start using Torrential Pump, knocking out Pokemon left and right, boom, 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 you know? And then Matthew doesn't play Shaman, so they're going to get pinged off. But Matthew's also going to try to go for that play and go for their own Wellspring. But Lewis is going first, which is a big deal here in this matchup, right? I think you want to go first, which is correct, right? So you can try to get the turn 2 Noctowl to disrupt your opponent. 3 Hoothoot and a Mew has hit the field with Wellspring in the active. Gonna a little shuffle there. On the Matthew's turn, so we're going to see Fan Rotom. It's going to get them, you know, all the Pokemon they need. Do they go for Ditto? That could be something we can see. What Matthew could also try to do is maybe try to go for Sob Lock and like maybe lock the Mew in the active spot. But if you lock Mew in the active spot, then Mew can copy your own Wellspring and start hitting your bench Pokemon. It's a very intricate and weird game, and it's definitely something I am glad I'm not playing. I'm glad that I haven't played 8 rounds of Pokemon and we're playing round 9. And that's a big thing too. This is still day 1. This is the same day. They have played 8 games of Pokemon, and now they're playing round 9. We see an Eevee has hit the field. Triple Hoothoot. We see a Jet Energy to that. We see Latios retreat. Okay, no we don't. So they just want to get the energy on the Hoothoot. That way they can maybe start using Reckless Charge next turn and not have to use a Crispin. That's the cool thing about these Flareon decks is they can use Reckless Charge and power up different attackers, right? But Lewis, they're going to see this Noctowl. And can we see a way that... we could definitely take a double knockout here. We have Crispin, we have Ace, we have the Ace spec, so we can go for the double knockout here, knock out the Van Rotom, knock out a Hoothoot, and start like picking off like Matthew's field and just like going about it that way. You see the Area 0 maybe being used. So Crispin, Area 0, so we want to get our bench filled. Both players are playing Area 0, so once that's in play, it's in play. There's nothing that can bounce it. So Area 0 comes down. We see Nest Ball for another Hoothoot, maybe? What do we get here? Gets an Iron Bundle. I don't think you Iron Bundle right now. I definitely think you try to knock out the active, maybe? So anyway, we are going for Iron Bundle. Okay. What are we going for here? So we're going to send the Hoothoot. All right. Interesting. So now you can Crispin. But we don't have another... Noctowl as of right now. So we go Nest Ball. We go Turtle. Okay. We're going to power up the Turtle. How do you power up the Turtle right now? Bezendipity comes down. We see the Crispin being used. Do we put one here, Sob? And the Turtle's there to punch the Flareon in the face? That doesn't take a knockout though. It does. Just so we see double energy there. Okay. Do we have a way to retreat this? As of right now, we don't, unless there's a Latias in the hand. I'm just missing it. Gonna restart for 1, and it's a Vessel. Okay, so we don't have it just yet. So how do we retreat? Great catch. Great catch. Yep. Okay. I was like, hold on a second. Something's wrong. So we see Noctowl immediately come down. Okay. Yeah, would it have been better to go on like Crispin Crystal and just like punch 2 Pokemon, I wonder? I don't know. I have no idea, right? It was a huge play on Lewis' part. Were they planning to go Turtle the whole time? I'm not sure. I am not sure. Like I said, Turtle doesn't immediately one-shot the Flareon or the Leafeon, so yeah, what do you do here? Lewis does play Lily's Clefairy, so Matthew has to watch out for that too. That could be a scary card. So Crispin has to come down. There's Crystal. So Crispin and Crystal. We see those 2 coming down. We're going to put the energy on the Eevee. Going to put down another Noctowl. So double Noctowl come down from Matthew. Got the Nest Ball. Got the Buddy Poffin. So we can Poffin here to find more Hoothoots. We can also Nest Ball. What do you Nest Ball for here? So Hoothoot the Eevee has made a play. Okay, but no Nest Ball. There's a Tera for the Flareon. Okay, we have the crystal. Are we going to use the second attack and just punch this in the face? I think this is what we're going to see. I think we're going to see Carnelian come down to do 280 damage and knock out this Pokemon. Yep, there's 280. All right, so Matthew has gone up 4 to 6. All right, so now what does Lewis do here? So yeah, I don't know exactly. So this is weak to water, but Wellspring's definitely not attacking this turn. And even then, Wellspring doesn't knock this out. It does 200 max, right? So that's not a thing. What do you do if you're Turtle? What does Turtle do here? So Pheasantipity for 3. Let's see. Okay, a Pikachu has to hit the field. Pikachu could definitely knock out Flareon. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know all the cards in their decks, so like when stuff comes down, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. There we go. So we saved the Sparkling Crystal for Pikachu instead of the Wellspring here. That's what we've done. So now we can put the Lightning Energy on Pikachu, use Mew, restart for 2. Do we find the Noctowl? Oh, we don't have a Noctowl. Pheasantipity for 3. Do we find Noctowl or Crispin? We have Ultra Ball and we have Noctowl. All right, so we can find Crispin here. Crispin can find us, or Noctowl can find Crispin in the A-Spec. So we see the crystal go in the hand. Yep. And what we could do is put Crispin on Pikachu, attach the crystal. Next time we have another way to attack again. So here we go. We got to make sure we discard the right energy, though. That's the big thing here. So get the metal, get the grass. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter as long as you have something, right? As long as you have the 3 energy types. Crystal counts as anything, so that's the big thing here. So Steel going to the Pikachu. We have the crystal. Now, with this, Pikachu can attack back-to-back turns. And this is fantastic. This is what you want to do with this Pikachu. So Pikachu is going to attack, take a knockout. Lewis will go down to 4. And now Matthew doesn't play a tool remover here. So that's the big thing here. So no tool remover. And also Matthew has to go down to 5. So there's the 5. All right, so we went down to 5. Now we can promote the fan rotom. Okay. Now on Matthew's turn, what do you do? I guess they were not expecting this Pikachu. That's a pretty big thing. So we see Grass Energy to the fan rotom. Matthew's saying, okay, I can't deal with the Pikachu right now, but I can soften it up. And what can you do now, Lewis, right? Can you find a way to attack? Well, you actually can't take 2 prize cards no matter what. So now it comes down to, well, can you Wellspring this turn? If they can Wellspring, they're golden, actually. Now, do they play Energy Switch? They definitely do. They play 2 Energy Switch. They'll need Crispin, Energy Switch, and Wake It Back. Oh, they do play 2 Wellspring. So this is very doable here. So Ultra Ball, I'm going to find Noctowl. I think we go for Noctowl. Do we not go for Noctowl? We actually have a pretty full bench, too. This will now fill the bench up. So we actually can't go for Wellspring right now. So Noctowl comes down. Okay. What are we doing now? What do we accomplish now? So there's boss order. Okay. But what else do you grab here? Because your bench is full. There's 8 Pokemon now. There's 5 and 3, so that's not going to work. What does Lewis do here? So there's a boss. There's a Crispin. They do play 4 Crispin, but they play 1 Super Rod, so they can't get back energies. And you see Lewis is very debating what to do here. What can they do this turn? Right? So we got to boss up the Pidgey. Do we retreat to Rotom and punch the Pidgey? No, we're going to retreat to Turtle and punch the Pidgey. That's fine. This is fine. You get rid of your opponent, making it where they can't use their Pidgey, all right? I was thinking maybe Fandor comes up and punch, but we're going to put the Grass Energy on Pidgey, and that way you don't have to commit a Crispin next turn. You can just like attach energy, and then as long as you fulfill the requirements, you're good to go. So smart play from Lewis. We see Fandor going to Matthew, going to Nest Ball, grab Pheasantipity. Okay. Now, if Matthew can find a way to take a knock on a 2 prize card Pokemon this turn, they are in great shape. I don't know if it's possible, though. I don't know if it's possible. We'll see. I can't remember if they play their A-Spec or not already. I don't think they have. So Pheasantipity for 3. Can they find the A-Spec or not? I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know if they played the A-Spec already. So Water G to Eevee. We have Boss's Order. Gonna bring up the Fan Rotom, but I guess we're just gonna take a knockout here. But now that's okay. So now what Matthew's hoping is that Lewis takes one price card goes down to 2. So they have to watch out because Briar could come down this turn. So we need to target this Fesdipity. If not, Matthew can use Briar, knock out an EX Pokemon and win next turn. So Lewis has to in the back of the head worry about, okay, I have to watch out Briar right now. Because Briar says if your opponent is exactly 2 price cards, right? And you take a knockout with one of your Cherry Pokemon, you take 1 price card. So we need to make sure we take 2 price cards this turn and not 1. If they take 1, this Flareon might come out. And that is scary. So we see the Hoothoot come down. Okay. We're gonna boss up the Fesdipity, and then we're gonna punch with Turtle, and that's great. All right, so we see energy. Oh, we're gonna go with Pikachu? Turtle? I don't know. Whatever you want to now. I think I like Turtle more. That's 240. That takes a knockout. Then you can say a Pikachu for Flareon. I like Turtle. I like Turtle more than Pikachu. So very interesting game here from both players, for sure. It's like, how does Matthew deal with Pikachu? That's what Matthew has to figure out in this next game. That's definitely what has done it, right? That's the big thing. What can Matthew do about this Pikachu? And we see Matthew Scoop saying, all right, I can't go for the Briar play. That's definitely what they're pretty much hoping for. And yeah, how does Matthew deal with Pikachu? That's the question here. How do we deal with Pikachu? Because if not, Lewis will go for the same thing again. Get Pikachu, punch a Flareon, can't do anything, whatever. We're good to go. Had a little mishap with the Wellspring, but it makes sense once I realized that Pikachu came out. You don't want to commit the crystal to Pikachu, and since they set up that turtle earlier in the game, they had this attacker that was on the bench just ready to go the whole time. So it seems pretty cool. It seems like, okay, maybe a little mistake, right? Whatever. But in the end, it kind of worked out for Lewis, right? I definitely still think that was the correct play. You just realize that, okay, I can't attack now, right? And of course, Flareon came out to take a knockout. And you're like, all right, I don't care. The Pikachu, I choose you, Pikachu, right? So now Matthew's got to figure out, how can I deal with Pikachu? And the answer is, I don't know if they have an answer. We saw where FanRoad kind of punched. Oh, the Pikachu priced. Okay, we have a totally different ball game now. The Pikachu is priced for Lewis here, so that's going to be a big thing here. So now, how does Lewis deal with these Flareons, right? Now that's going to be the big question here. Now, we see Matthew going first, and I talked about this last game. I think going first is probably the most optimal thing to do, because you can go for turn 1 Fanrotom, you can get your Hoothoos, get your Noctowls, and then you start putting pressure on ASAP, right? Some matches you may want to go second, right? Because they want to set up more, right? And you're like, all right, I want to get my Hoothoos and stuff out before you set up. But in this matchup, you're like, okay, you have outs to Hoothoos, I have outs to Hoothoos. So we want to go first. Like in Gardevoir, for example, they don't have outs to get Ralts. So you want to go second, because not only can you just like draw into setup manually, right? But you can really guarantee it with the supporter card turn too. And that's why I think like against like Gardevoir and like Dragapult and stuff like that, you more so want to go second, and plus their setup decks. So this is where like Tera Box really does like decide what you're going to do, and plus like knowing the matchup, right? Both players probably knew they're playing Tera Box, right? I imagine maybe not, but here we are. We see Fanroad and both players use. We see a bunch of Pokemon on both sides, and it's going to go down to what's going to happen here. That's the big question. The first question is, does Lewis have a way to pull this Ditto to the active spot and take a knockout Wellspring on this Eevee? I think that's going to be the big question here. Can Lewis pull that play off? If they do, they're cooking, right? So we see the Hoothoot, we see Ditto, we see a Grass Energy. So I don't think we will see this happen, but Ditto will transform. And what does Ditto find here? Could go for a Wellspring Steel. Yeah, and there's the Wellspring. The problem is they attach an energy this turn. Now, no, they still can't. Even that Crispin attached, that doesn't work because you already attached. Yeah, so what do you grab here? Ooh, okay, Turtle. Turtle still can't attack, though. Remember, they've already attached energy, so that's not going to work. We have the other Hoothoot. Yep. And we're going to pass. All right. We're gonna make him shuffle. Yep. All right, so now Matthew's turn. Now, can Matthew go Crispin, Energy, Boss, Hoothoot? If they do that, whew, we are cooking, right? We are cooking. We'll take 2 prize cards. We'll get this thing set up. But then you commit your Crispin to the Wellspring, right? So we'll have to see what happens here. See the Noctowl coming down. We're gonna grab rare candy. So this is something we haven't seen in both these games so far. Matthew is playing a Pidgeot. And Pidgeot's very, very good for this deck. Being able to get any kind of card you want every single turn is broken. So rare candy, Cierno. Obviously, Cierno grabbing Pidgeot, Latias. And one more EX Pokemon. Could be Flareon? Right? Oh, going for Turtle, maybe. Get their own Turtle out. Pheasantipity. A lot of options here. Oh, they already have Flareon in hand. That's why we see this happening. Okay. Actually, I think Matthew's hand is... okay, I don't want to say dead because they have Rare Candy Pidgeot about to come down. So we'll see what happens. Yep. We're going to go Turtle. So Turtle, Pheasantipity, Pidgeot. Okay. So... puts down the Turtle, but they didn't. Did they already drop Rare? Yeah, there's a Rare Candy. So we're gonna see the Pidgeot being used. What do you grab here? You could see. You can go. Noctowl. They got Buddy Puff in here, which is very interesting. Do they already have Stadium in hand? Okay, there's a Nest Ball. Do they have Stadium in hand? Fire Energy being grabbed. Okay. So Fire Energy, not Fire Energy. Fire Energy, not Fire Energy. Fire Energy, Fire Energy. Fire Energy, not Fire Energy. Fire Energy, okay. Interesting, okay. What is Matthew doing here? So just gonna sob? After all that, just a sob. Okay, all right. And look like Matthew was like upset for some reason, like they misplayed and I missed something. Did I miss something? But now, okay, so Lewis is now locked, but Lewis could hypothetically take a knockout, own this Ogerpon, right? They get 8 bench Pokemon, you know, that's it. That they can take a knockout that way. So we'll see if Lewis can do that. Can they get, actually they only need 7. Yeah, they only need 7 because it does 30 for each of your Pokemon. So they could take a knockout this turn. They would need a lot of resources here. They would need Crispin, they would need Air Zero, they need 3 more Pokemon. So do they have these resources or not? That's going to be the question here. They do have an Ultra Ball, and so that would definitely help out some, right? Because then they can Ultra Ball for another Noctowl. So we see Aries here, we see Nest Ball. We're definitely going back in. Yep, you can see they're trying to figure out, okay, there's that. We have Nest Ball, which can get, I don't know, Pheasantipity, Latias, Mew. It's a good one because you can restart. There's a lot of, yeah, Mew is probably fine here. So we got 5. We need 2 more. So we get Ultra Ball, yeah, so this is it. So we get Ultra Ball, discarding Super Rod and Ultra Ball. Is that Super Rod? That's Super Rod, right? It looks like a Super Rod. See, Noctowl come down. Gonna go Crispin. Gonna go... So they have the 7. So what's your other card here with Crispin? For another Nest Ball. Maybe not. Do you have another... Yeah, I think double Nest Ball is probably fine. Ooh, Buddy Poffin, if it just to thin the deck out, right? Because you can't. There you go. All right. So we see, Cleffa, Buddy Poffin, Hoothoot. Going to Crispin here. Do you go second Nest Ball or do you hold the Nest Ball? So we'll put the energies to the active. And then we take Pikachu off the price cards. I think Pikachu's at the bottom. And if that's the case, you can then swing. All right. So we see the Water G. Do you Nest Ball for Pheasantipity or not? That's the question here. I think I like the Nest Ball for Pheasantipity right now. So 2 from here. All right. So we're going to save the Nest Ball maybe. Just going to knock out. Okay, going out of 4. Grass Pikachu. Pikachu's at the bottom. Wellspring gets knocked out, so that's the only Tera Pokemon, so that's what they're checking right there. All right, so they did take the Pikachu. So now Pikachu can punch a Flareon in the face, and we're good to go. So Pheasantipity has hit Matthew's side. We'll see Pheasantipity draw 3. And does Matthew find anything? They actually still... I mean, they have Pidgeot, so they have a lot of options here. So there's a Flareon. But now Matthew is behind on prize cards. So if Matthew takes knockout, Lewis goes Pikachu, take a knockout, and then Lewis can just go like Blood Moon Pheasantipity or something, right? So see Turtle come down, or Blood Moon the Turtle, right? There's a lot of different things that Lewis could do. It's this weird checkmate situation or going back and forth of like who has checkmate. My odds is on Lewis' side right now just because they already took 2 prize cards. They have answers with Pikachu and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying, you know, they have the like all of it, of course. But the thing here is like Matthew only plays like 1 Iono and stuff. And so they really can't disrupt like Lewis' hand and stuff like that because they need stuff, right? Like right now they need to find a way to attack with this Flareon. So they really can't go for Iono here. So we see Pheasant, we see the Mew grabbing 1 card. It looks like we're going to go for Stretcher. So Stretcher comes into the hand. Okay. So goes for a second Noctowl. So now they don't have any more Noctowls on board. We go Buddy Buddy Poffin, Crispin, Counter Catcher. Interesting. Crystal, Crispin. I don't know. This is the thing with Tera box decks, or any kind of box deck, right? There's like 1,000 different options. So you're trying to figure out what to do and stuff like this, right? So we see Counter Catcher bring up the Hoothoot actually. Gonna put a Crystal on this. Gonna retreat, punch this Hoothoot, kick into the New Year. And go down to 5. You can power up your Turtle if you want to. Does it power itself up? Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could power itself up, but we're gonna put 2 on Turtle. I mean, I know you're not gonna power yourself up because you have the 2 and whatever, blah blah blah. I was just asking for just because I want to ask. Don't ask questions. All right, so we see 2 on the Turtle. Now it's up to Lewis. Can we knock out this Flareon with Pikachu? I think the answer might be yes. We have Nest Ball in hand, which can find Pheasantipity. We'll flip the script. Hope we hit 3, right? I hope we hit the good cards. So here's the Nest Ball for Pheasantipity that I was talking about. All right. So now we vessel away the Area 0 to find energies. Do you go for it? You at least need to keep 1. Oh, gonna go for Cleffa here. Full Moon Rondo is looking kind of spicy, actually. I forgot about this. So Full Moon Rondo does 20 and the 20 for each bitch Pokemon, both yours and your opponent. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 280 damage, which the Full Moon Rondo will take a knockout with the Crispin, but we gotta find Crispin. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, do we have the Crispin? Uh-oh. I don't think we have a way to tackle this Cleffa. Yep. Uh-oh. What do you do now? You can't put a Crystal on Cleffa because that doesn't work. We send this. That's only 240. That is not enough for a knockout. All right. The game has changed now. So now the odds looking better for Matthew here. And looking a little good for Matthew. So if Matthew can punch a Turtle, they still, well, that 1 prize is definitely what's hurting them. Ugh. Now, the good thing about this is Matthew does play Briar, so at any point they can Briar, but you have to Briar and take out a knockout of Pokemon at the same time. So you have to count on like Counter Catcher plus Briar kind of thing, right? Of course, they're definitely playing. I don't even need to look. I know they're okay. I'm gonna look. They are playing Counter Catcher, so yeah, they can. Oh, Counter Catcher's right here though. That's a big deal. Counter Catcher being in the discard pile. Now they can't go Briar Counter Catcher. Okay. We'll see what we got here. Pidgeot for Lovable. Okay, or for Lovable. Nest Ball. Eevee comes down. Okay. We see Buddy Buddy Poffin here. Gonna grab a Hoothoot. All right. What's going to happen? We got a Jet 2 Holiday. No, we don't. Yes, we do. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Okay. Gonna jet up to Turtle. Turtle, kick the Turtle. So take a knockout. Okay, so go down to 3. We're going down to 3. Now, if Lewis takes a knockout, they'll go down to 2. But then Matthew can go for the Briar play with the Flareon. So now, what Lewis needs to do here, and then this is going to be crazy, they need to go maybe Wellspring or something? We'll see. See what Lewis does here. There's a lot of different avenues here that we can see here from Lewis. They could attack with, I think, okay, actually attack with Pikachu is the best play here. Because now if you attack with Pikachu, knock out Turtle, Matthew can't Briar plus Counter Catcher. Yep, I think that's the play here. I think that's the play because Matthew still can't deal with Pikachu, but they have to find a bunch of stuff. All right, there's Turtle, or there's Wellspring. Okay. Now, Wellspring looks real tasty, but I think the Pikachu is the better play. So Fezandipity for 3. 1, 2, 3. Turo. Something else. Okay. We see the Ultra Ball. Show me Pikachu. Show me the money. Show me Pikachu. Also, that Mega Maw Ball in their hand is very scary. Don't put that card down. So there's Noctowl. Okay. Boss order. We're going to knock out the Flareon? Is that what we're cooking? Energy Switch Boss. Okay. I want to see this knocked out, but there's an Energy Switch to Wellspring. Oh, we're gonna go for the Wellspring play. Okay, I like this too. We don't win immediately, but we can bring this up. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is what I started off with. I was like, we can Wellspring and take a double knockout. And then we go down to 1 price card. Very smart, very smart. It is. I didn't think they were going to be able to pull it off, but they did. They did pull it off. They had the Energy Switch, Energy, Sparkling Crystal. They had it all. This is what I was talking about. Lewis has so many cards in hand because Matthew didn't disrupt it, but Matthew couldn't disrupt it because they needed to find answers for Lewis's deck. Whew, that's a lot. But here we go. Lewis is down to 1 card. And what can Matthew do? I don't know. Who knows? What can do? So these Noctowls can be picked up easily by this thing. It could be Crispin. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what Matthew's got. Got the Pidgeot. Okay. Their best play is to Iono knock out this with this. I think that's their best play. If we can Iono. I don't even know if Iono's in the deck. But I think that's what we need to cook with. Let's see what Matthew has here. Yeah, if they can somehow Iono. Did they play Iono? They do play 1 Iono, okay. I don't know if it's in the hand or deck, though. I have no idea. where the Iono is. If they can play Iono. I see the Iono. Oh, let's go, Iono. Now, it's not the end because Lewis does have Mew and has Fezandipity. So we are going to see some cards here. Yep, we're going to see a couple cards for sure. So it'll come down to, can we find Blood Moon? I think it's going to come down to, can we see Blood Moon? Also, Full Moon Rondo might just take a knockout too as well. Full Moon Rondo might be a thing. So there's a nice stretcher. Okay, we stretching. There's the Hoothoot. Don't know if I like the Hoothoot, but I guess it doesn't matter. And there it is, the Iono to 1. Let's go. But you know what? Iono's not real is what I'm feeling right now. I feel like these cards aren't going to matter. So we're going to see Matthew play Flip the Script, draw 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. What else we got here? We got the Jet 2 Holiday. We can do that if we want to. We got the Nest Ball. I mean, you're going to go Turtle, punch this thing in the face. Nest Ball. I can't play Nest. Oh, yes, you can. There's 1 spot left. Okay. Nest Ball. Okay. Gonna grab 1 card. There's their own Blood Moon. Oh, is this foreshadowing? Oh, they're gonna attack with their own Blood Moon. Oh, let's go. Let's go, Blood Moon. Okay, so on the Lewis turn, they now need Blood Moon and a Boss Order or a way to power with Cleffa. All right, so it's Lewis Determination. That's not the answer. So you Mew for 1. Fezandipity for 3 and see what happens. All right, there's the Mew for 1. That's a grass injury. That's not what you need. Whoa, bro! What the heck? What the heck? The Hoothoot! I even said it. I even replayed that. I said I don't know how I feel about that Hoothoot. I even said that. I don't know how I feel about the Hoothoot. Oh, the Hoothoot, man! I told you the Hoothoot wasn't worth it. Oh my goodness. Anyways. What a crazy ending. What a crazy ending. That Hoothoot being dropped. My God. What a close game there. Holy moly. What a close game 3. What a back and forth. We love to see it. We love to see Pokemon that way. Holy cow, guys. We had a bad game 1. Game 2, Pikachu came out and was a champ. And game 3, yo, that was a good back and forth. Love to see it. Love to see that. But anyways, guys, way to end up day 1. Their day 1 technically. It's technically day 2 here. However you want to look at it. Swiss round 9. We'll see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow we jump forward because you know they can never record the first rounds, and we'll jump straight into the final round of day 2. See you in round number 13 tomorrow. Alrighty, guys. Bye bye.